lovers, welcome back to Gotta Love Them Movies. I'm Mike, and this is my esteemed panel. I'd like to welcome you guys. Check out Robbie Ellis, all the way from New Zealand, more recently from Chicago. He's the composer, musical director of The Second City.
One of them.
One of them. Let's be honest. Let's not sell yourself short. To my immediate left, got Andy Danish, voice actor. You've seen him, you know him, you love him. He's on PlayStation 3's The Invisimals.
Mm-hmm.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
The Invisibles, Little Big Planet 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a gamer, so I'm not that familiar with.
Don't worry, all the gamers out there will know exactly what you're talking about.
But you can also see him in Peking Duckling on Disney Junior this summer. So that's...
Watch it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
I know nothing about it.
Talking animals, always a good time.
But you know something I do know about? Force Awakens just opened this weekend.
Oh my goodness.
This weekend. And for all of you movie lovers out there, Robbie has never seen a single Star Wars film.
Well, I'll clarify, I've seen bits and pieces of the original trilogy when they've screened on TV. I'm aware of the parodies and caricatures because, as you mentioned, I'm a music director, and I need to know a few of these things to do. They're pop culture references that I need to know.
It's big.
But I see Star Wars like I see, say, Romeo and Juliet. You don't have to have read or seen Romeo and Juliet to know what happens in it.
So what happens in it?
Star Wars, you mean? Or Romeo and Juliet?
Yeah, Star Wars, yeah.
Oh, Romeo and Juliet. Everybody dies.
Everybody dies.
Yeah. Star Wars, everybody dies.
Well, it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah. It's a... So have you seen Force Awakens?
No, I have not seen Force Awakens.
Are you excited to see Force Awakens?
Not totally.
Not totally.
No.
Any particular reason?
I'm not a sci-fi person, primarily.
Andy, I think we've got our work cut out for us.
Alright. Yeah.
Alright, let's do this. So Andy, you have seen Force Awakens. What excites you? What did you think about the movie?
I loved it. I mean, the visuals, the storyline, the comedy, the nostalgia moments, the wonderfully nostalgic moments from the original trilogy, seeing old characters return while developing great new characters.
Han Solo was amazing.
I know.
He totally came. He was Han Solo. He wasn't Harrison Ford like he was in Indiana Jones 4, a movie that does not exist.
So I could watch Force Awakens as a standalone movie.
It
reestablishes... I don't need to have seen the previous 6 or 5.
No.
Yeah.
I have heard of Machete Order.
Yes, it goes 4, 2, 3,
then
Empire
5, Strikes Back,
6,
and Jedi. Yeah.
Yeah, and just completely forget 1 because 1 just doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, but I will say Episode 1 kind of has the best lightsaber battle. Would you?
I would agree. And the best Sith, one of the best Sith Lords, I think, in the universe. So,
like Darth Maul is incredible. What a cool character. He looks amazing. He's menacing.
It's too bad he couldn't talk more, though. But the only reason was because Ray Park, he's actually a New Zealander. And
is he?
Yeah.
Is he?
He's a New Zealander and Australian. He was a world champion martial artist, basically, before he got cast in this and started doing stunt work. That's why he was actually the one training Ewan McGregor and Liam Neeson to do the stunt sequences in the movie.
So the movie has come out. Reaction is broadly positive, but the bar that it had to clear was not all that high, given episodes 1 to 3 were not great, not all that well received.
I will say this though, it did have a huge hurdle because back in 1999, no one ever stopped to consider that Star Wars could be bad. No one thought about this. It was, hey, we're just getting another Star Wars movie. We're super excited that the prequels, we're going to get the story of how Anakin became Darth Vader, which is like, that's the whole overarching story of the prequels.
Right.
So no one stopped to consider they might be terrible, which they were. So I think that this movie did actually have a higher bar to clear because now we have that, oh shit, this could be an atrocity. So, I mean, like, we've put a lot of our trust in J.J. Abrams. Kathleen Kennedy is now headed up of Lucasfilm. Disney owns it, so I think there was a little trepidation there, now that it's owned by Disney. But I think a lot of fans were happy to see that the whole franchise was out of the hands of George Lucas.
So George Lucas has had no involvement in
None whatsoever.
7, 8, and 9?
Nope.
No?
He's only credited as creating the characters in the credits, essentially.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, And is he commenting on it at all, or is it kind of like when presidents step down and they don't generally comment on what today's presidents do?
I believe so. There have been a few reaction videos where he's, on camera discussed with J.J. Abrams how he enjoyed the film and stuff like that. But he did have a little creative input as to where he would have liked to have seen Episode 7 go. But J.J. Abrams and Disney have been very vocal, saying, "Thank you for your thoughts, but we're not going to use them."
Bye-bye, old man. Go into retirement home.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Here's your hat.
This is how we treat senior citizens, everybody.
I guess the fact that it recycled the story arc from Episode 4 didn't detract from it, but at the same time, though, I would have loved to have seen it maybe take a different type of arc, because in Episode 4, you kind of learn both not only about the others outside Star Wars universe, outside of what the Jedis do, and their mythology, but you also learn about all the creatures, the starships, the dogfights, what's going on between the rebellion and the Empire. And in this, it repeated the same thing, but I would have loved to seen it less about the Jedi, because again, the Jedi storyline or becoming a Jedi seemed to be the overarching, main character's character arc. And because of that, I'm appreciative that Disney's also planning to come out with movies like a Rogue One movie about how the Rebels plan to capture the Death Star plant.
The anthology film.
And the anthology films, and that will involve no Jedis whatsoever.
So, for anyone who's watching this for the first time, if you've not seen The Force Awakens, full spoilers going forward.
I'm on the record that I do not care about spoilers. You said that you wanted to convince me to watch it. I think that the spoilers might actually help.
Well, I'm about to drop the biggest spoiler of the film.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
The main villain is Han Solo's son, and Han Solo is killed by his son.
In Episode 7?
In Episode 7.
Oh, no more Harrison Ford.
Kylo Ren
Aww.
sticks a lightsaber through Harrison Ford's chest, and he falls to his death as he touches the face of his boy.
This is how we treat senior citizens.
Then again, it's Harrison Ford. So, Harrison Ford, I don't treat him as a senior citizen because I expect him to kick anybody's butt between, who's like half his age. Like, I can imagine he would be able to hold his own in a fight.
He walked away from a plane crash. He walked twice. This is not the first time he's crashed a plane.
I suppose that, it's all brand new. It's all brand new story. It's got to advance stuff, and it's got to show major consequences. It's like, wow, okay. But that feels like the sort of thing that you need an investment in the previous, or at least episodes 4, 5, 6 to really.
But I will say they
something.
build it. Yeah, it helps, but they build it in a way that it's arguably Harrison Ford is the star of the film.
Okay.
Between he and there's another main character, Rey. She's the lead female of the film. They kind of share screen time, where he kind of takes her under his wing. She's like the new prodigy. She has as much of a love for the Millennium Falcon as, which is a spaceship.
I can get that much. Yeah.
Okay. She loves the Millennium Falcon just as much as Harrison Ford does, or as Han Solo does, and we have that emotional investment in the character in this film alone, so that we can kind of start afresh from Episode 7 and move forward.
I think, as far as Harrison Ford is concerned, that this is a movie where you can become invested in his character without having to see 4, 5, and 6, because he's just as entertaining in this movie as he was in the previous trilogy.
Totally.
It's very easy to become, to be drawn in by him without having to see the other movies, because he is essentially Han Solo, and you like him in this movie for the same reasons you liked him in all the other movies.
Music. This is a huge point with me. I love film scores. Robbie, favorite film score of all time?
Ooh. Can I count movie musicals or not really?
Sure, why not?
West Side Story. West Side Story.
Andy.
It's so fresh.
Favorite score?
Favorite score?
Oh, that's a tough one for me. I am into movie scores. I guess I would have to say it's a toss-up between the Dark Knight score and
Hans Zimmer, good.
Hans Zimmer and between the Back to the Future trilogy.
Oh, Alan Silvestri.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't know who wrote West Side Story. Otherwise, I would.
Leonard Bernstein.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, I gotta give mad props to probably two amazing John Williams film scores, and that would be Indiana Jones or Jurassic Park.
He knows how to write a good tune.
Oh, he really does.
Yeah, he does. I mean, I heard something that when George Lucas was scouting around for a film composer for the first Star Wars, there was a tendency in Hollywood at the time to be going slightly more experimental sounding, slightly, quirkier into the 60s and 70s, and he wanted somebody who had that old school, like Eric Korngold sound, which is descended from Mahler, which is, very similar to Mahler, Wagner, that old school romantic orchestration, and that it really launched John Williams, and now it's
mainstream.
The dominant vocabulary for film scores, but it sounds so gorgeous.
It really does.
It sounds so luscious.
And Force Awakens does not disappoint in film score. In fact, you could kind of arguably say that each of the Star Wars films has like their own theme, their own tune.
Yeah.
And Force Awakens, same thing, doesn't disappoint. It's exciting, it's fresh, but it really rings true to the old original Star Wars. So Emperor Snoke, he's a completely CG character. How do you feel about that?
I think in this case, because we don't actually interact with him character to character, and he's only there as a projection, that I think it's fine because we don't really get to see him up close. We don't see how tall he actually is, or how bad his scarring is, or
So
how
he's
he
the Wizard
actually
of
walks.
Oz.
Yes!
Exactly. He's the
Yes!
Wizard
Wizard of Oz.
Basically, he's the
Yeah, he's the
an
evil
Wizard of Oz. There you go.
Best way to put it.
Like, we don't even know if he's human or not. Like,
Kind of don't, no.
like I have theories. I feel like maybe he could be a deformed clone who basically is re-inhabited by an older Sith Lord.
Online, there's a lot of discussion about he's the one who killed he might be Darth Plagueis.
He's the one who Darth Sidious killed after being taught how to live eternally.
Supposedly.
Yeah. I would say that people are making a lot of obvious conclusions, and I think that's dangerous because people are automatically saying, oh, Rey's going to end up being Luke's daughter and he's going to train her. And I think that's the obvious conclusion to make, but then again, we made so many false assumptions about this movie based on what we saw in the trailer. Like, we thought John Boyega was going to be a Jedi.
We did. He's wielding a lightsaber.
Yeah, and he's not. He's just wielding the lightsaber, but he's not a Force user. So I think Rey will not be Luke's daughter. I think she might be, this might be way out there, might be Snoke's daughter.
What?
Luke smuggled away to keep her safe from the dark side until he felt she was safely shielded from the influence of the dark side. So that's my personal theory.
So that would tie in with Luke being Darth Vader's son.
Yeah.
In a way.
Like, he understands. It was the similar way that Luke was smuggled away to be kept away from Darth Vader in the original movie, so he kind of did the same thing. It's quite clear that there's two things that are definitely going to happen. The rebellion is going to suffer more casualties, or the resistance is going to suffer more casualties, and I think Kylo Ren is going to come out and say what he does know about Rey, because when you saw the two of them lined up together, you can see that, like, he knows more about her than he's letting on, and that he's letting everybody else know about her in the movie. So we're like, what does he know? What is it that she's not being told by all the other characters that he might drop on her? That's what I'm curious to hear. And how will that affect her? Will it drive her forward? Will it make her not trust people around her? Will it make her not want to be part of the Resistance anymore?
Well, let me ask you this. Is there redemption for Kylo Ren?
I think so, because he did a pretty bad thing. He committed patricide, and that's pretty messed up. But I do think you feel bad for him because he's being used as Supreme Leader Snoke's pawn, the same way Vader was used as the Emperor's pawn.
Right.
Snoke doesn't respect him. Hopefully J.J. Abrams will be smart enough not to...
Abrams?
Abrams.
J.J. Abrams?
J.J.
You're
Abrams.
a voiceover artist, are you?
Sorry, excuse me. Tripping over my words right now. I think J.J. Abrams hopefully will be smart enough not to go the route that everybody expects him to go, but to reveal more twists and turns and take us by surprise a little bit more the way he did so successfully in Force Awakens.
So Robbie, did
Yeah.
we do our job? After now discussing spoilers, plot points, characters, where the series is headed, are you excited to see the film?
I think there's a good story.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I am slightly relieved about is I looked up the runtime of it. It's what, 2 hours?
2 hours
15.
15.
And it's not comparable to, say, Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter or anything that, so we're going to cram everything in here and make it a 3-hour epic that you have to watch.
While you're watching it, I don't know if Andy, you can confirm this, but you don't look at your watch, you say, oh, it's kind of dragging, let's get to the next point. It's on point, like it has your attention the whole way through.
And you want more, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
And it doesn't leave you wanting. Like, it caps it off just the right moments to give you exactly what you want to see, and then ends it. It doesn't...
You want to walk out of the movie theater and walk right into episode 8. So, guys, movie lovers, what are you going to do? Are you going to go see Force Awakens? Have you seen Force Awakens? What did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you somewhere in between? Let us know in the comments section below. If you guys liked our guest today, you can follow Robbie Ellis at EllisRobbie on Twitter. You can follow Andy Danish at Andy's Voice.
Andy Danish. It's talking about mispronouncing bad names badly.
What did I say? Danish?
Danish. It's Danish, like the pastry.
I thought it was Danish.
I can't believe you had me on. You know what? That's it. I'm leaving. I'm done. I'm done here.
You're welcome.
Bye, guys.
It's not the end, friend, if you're